Imagine him walking onto Old Trafford wearing the famous Manchester United shirt. Imagine him playing alongside Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs and Wayne Rooney. And imagine Cristiano Ronaldo arriving at Manchester United shortly afterward, but without Ronaldinho ever being there. That sounds like an alternate football history. But for a moment in 2003, it was very close to becoming reality. Ronaldinho was leaving Paris Saint-Germain, and Manchester United were seriously trying to sign him. In fact, according to Paul Scholes, Manchester United were so close to completing the deal that the club had already been preparing for his arrival. Scholes later recalled that Ronaldinho was almost announced as a Manchester United player and that the club had even discussed giving him a squad number. The transfer looked close. Very close. Ronaldinho was only 23 years old. He had already established himself as one of Brazil's biggest stars. He had played in Europe with PSG. And after winning the 2002 World Cup with Brazil, some of the biggest clubs in the world wanted him. Manchester United were one of them. But there was a problem. Barcelona weren't giving up. At the time, Barcelona were trying to rebuild the club. Their new president, Joan Laporta, had promised to bring a world-class star to the team. They had initially wanted David Beckham. But Beckham chose Real Madrid. So Barcelona turned their attention to Ronaldinho. And one man inside Barcelona already had a relationship with him. His name was Sandro Rosell. Rosell had worked with Nike in Brazil and already knew Ronaldinho and his representatives. According to Ronaldinho's later account, Rosell had spoken to him before becoming Barcelona's president. He asked Ronaldinho a simple question. If Rosell became president of Barcelona, would Ronaldinho come and play for the club? Ronaldinho said yes. That promise would become extremely important. Because while Manchester United were negotiating with PSG, Barcelona suddenly entered the race seriously. The situation became complicated. Manchester United wanted Ronaldinho. Barcelona wanted Ronaldinho. Real Madrid were also interested, although their proposal involved Ronaldinho remaining at PSG for another season. Ronaldinho, however, wanted his next move to happen immediately. And then everything changed. Barcelona managed to reach an agreement with PSG. On July 19, 2003, Ronaldinho arrived in Barcelona. Barcelona officially signed him on a 5-year deal. The club says they beat both Real Madrid and Manchester United to his signature, paying PSG around €25 million plus variables. Manchester United had lost the transfer. Paul Scholes later remembered how strange the situation felt. The players had been excited about Ronaldinho joining them. Then, only a few days later, they found themselves facing him on the pitch during preseason. Scholes joked that the players were now trying to kick the player they had expected to become their teammate. Think about how different football history could have been. Ronaldinho at Manchester United. No Ronaldinho at Barcelona. No famous Barcelona number 10 years. No Ronaldinho and Lionel Messi relationship at Barcelona in the same form. And perhaps an entirely different path for Cristiano Ronaldo. Because there was another unbelievable coincidence. Just weeks after Ronaldinho chose Barcelona instead of Manchester United, United signed a teenage Portuguese winger named Cristiano Ronaldo. At the time, Ronaldo was only 18. Nobody knew exactly what he would become. But Manchester United had lost Ronaldinho, and then found Cristiano Ronaldo. That's one of the strangest twists in football history. Ronaldinho went to Barcelona and immediately became one of the faces of the club's revival. He arrived at a team that had been struggling for years. Barcelona themselves later described the club as needing a shake-up after 5 consecutive seasons without silverware. Ronaldinho helped change that. He brought excitement back to Camp Nou. He became the player supporters wanted to watch. The tricks, the smile, the passes and the goals made him one of the biggest stars in world football. And then came the moment that made the decision look even better. In 2005, Ronaldinho won the Ballon d'Or. The following year, he helped Barcelona win the Champions League. He had gone from being the player Manchester United almost signed, to becoming the superstar of Barcelona. But here's the part that makes the story even more interesting. Ronaldinho himself later explained that Manchester United had been extremely close. He said it was basically a matter of around 48 hours. The difference was the promise he had made to Sandro Rosell. Rosell had told him that if he became Barcelona president, he wanted Ronaldinho to come. Ronaldinho had given his word. And when Rosell called to tell him that he was going to win the Barcelona election, Ronaldinho remembered that promise. So the decision wasn't simply about money. It wasn't simply about which club was bigger. There was a personal commitment involved. Ronaldinho chose Barcelona, and football history changed. Manchester United moved on. Barcelona got their superstar, and a few weeks later, Manchester United signed a teenager who would eventually become one of the greatest players of all time. Cristiano Ronaldo. Nobody could have known how important those two decisions would become. But looking back, the summer of 2003 feels almost impossible to believe. Ronaldinho was just 23. Manchester United thought they were close to getting him. Barcelona were fighting to sign him. Real Madrid were interested. PSG were trying to decide his future. And somewhere in the middle of all of it was a promise Ronaldinho had made to a man who wanted to change Barcelona. That promise helped send Ronaldinho to Spain. And once he arrived, everything changed. The player who almost became a Manchester United star became a Barcelona legend instead. And perhaps the craziest part is this: Manchester United lost Ronaldinho, and shortly afterward, they found Cristiano Ronaldo. One transfer that didn't happen. One transfer that did. And two football legends whose careers could have looked completely different. So when you see an old Ronaldinho Barcelona shirt today, remember something. That shirt wasn't guaranteed to be his. For a brief moment in 2003, Ronaldinho was almost wearing red. But one promise, one decision, and one last-minute change in football history sent him to Barcelona.